We identified 3 SciUp strategies that have garnered positive results in the past, but are unfortunately not set up for virtual lessons. They were Carousel, Jeopardy, and Think, Pair, Share. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with Carousel. Just a little background information about Carousel. It's where students work in small groups and address a rotation of questions that are usually posted in the classroom. Each group usually has their own color when all questions have been answered by each group, and all groups return to the first question and rotation again to see what the other groups have answered. I know I've used this plenty of times, you know, as a teacher, and it's gotten really, really great results. But the thing is, it's not set up for virtual learning. So did anyone come up with any ideas of how we could maybe turn this into a virtual format?
I was thinking about maybe putting a question, making it like a Google slide and putting a question on each slide, and then assigning the group, like you're gonna have slide 5, you're gonna have slide 3, you're gonna have slide 2, and then they answer on that slide, and then they move on to the next slide and they see what other people have answered, and then they add to it. So I thought maybe that's the way that you could use it, making it a slide and then assigning the kids. Your group 5 has slide 1, group 2 has slide 3, and they start like that and they just rotate through slides. And they can have, you can assign them a color, like group 1, you're gonna use red, group 2, you're gonna use blue, so they're answering in that color. And then they can just make sure they hit all the slides, and it would be easy to tell because there's different colors for each answer choice. So I thought that would be a good way to do it.
That's a really good idea. But we use like breakout rooms, or what do y'all think?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like breakout rooms, and maybe like assigning each breakout room a color, like, you know, red, green, orange, purple, whatever colors. And then we go through the list, and then we'll be like, question 1 is for purple first, and then give them, you know, set amount of time, and then we'll switch it to the next one, and then switch it to the next one. And then by the end of the class period, everybody would have seen every slide, and you'll be able to tell who has what based on the color that they were writing in.
Oh, that's really good. Math teacher, writing teacher, what do y'all think?
No, yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing, using the Google Slides, since you're able to edit on as a class. So that is actually a perfect option. I think slides would be best. I'm thinking about sheets, but no.
Yeah.
ClassKick, it would not be easy to do that. I mean, you could use helpers. Yes, you can assign helpers, but then you'd have to like do it for everybody. And you can, I mean, I guess you could. I'm thinking about it now. I haven't tried that, but that's a good thing to look at.
I'm saying because Google Slides isn't compatible with some of the devices. But
True.
I think I heard the IT guys say that we were getting new ones already.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe even with a Google Doc, you know how I've seen when kids have to work in a group and they're writing an essay or something, and everybody has to contribute a paragraph. I've seen where everybody's using the same document and they're writing on it, typing on it. And I guess you could do it that way, have the questions on a Google Doc, and then everybody just answers if you're sharing the document.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
Assigning a color.
I was thinking about Padlet. Like,
yes.
Like opening up like different Padlets, and this one's like, say, give it a color, and then they'd have to go to each one and answer, and everybody else would be able to see what they put.
Yeah, that's good too.
It's kind of like a gallery walk kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think you can also use like Jamboard. I don't know if you guys have ever used Jamboard. It's like you just put like a question on there, and the kids can write around just like as if they were like kind of doing their own little gallery walk through the class, and all the kids are working on it at the same time, and you just can just like assign like a question or something and say like, you're starting here, you're starting there. That would maybe be another way to do it.
Oh yeah, that is a good idea. Or even
because I think you can send a Jamboard, because you know how we use Google Meets. You can send a Jamboard directly from Google Meets, and you can put them in like from right there, so that way they can just go straight to it instead of having them go open another document and something like that.
I think that would be cool too, because on Jamboard you can like draw, right?
Yes.
So that you could draw like a cluster kind of, and the question would be in the middle, and everybody's responses could be like coming out. So maybe they would just need to have one response, and you could already set it up where you have a bubble for each group, so that they go in and you have to make sure everybody puts an answer around that bubble. Does that make sense? Kind of like a cluster.
I feel it went well. I actually implemented what was it, I know how we talked about Jeopardy. Before I implemented it, and we actually used, I kind of had like a Jeopardy, and I kind of used the breakout room session once since the last time we met. And the kids seemed to really enjoy it. I mean, they looked like they had fun, and they were playing, and they were keeping score, and they were keeping me on track of the score. They were like, no, sir, I got 100 points, not 50 points or whatever. So I know I feel like it was implemented really well. The students really enjoyed using it. I feel like it was actually, beneficial for their learning, and not just like another day where we were here in class and they were at home and we're just, doing what we got to do.
Yeah. I think it's important also to, when the teachers implement these strategies, that they have the support so that they know that it may not always work out, but to encourage them to try them, because it's not until you try them that you're going to realize whether it's something that you want to keep using. And the kids enjoy a variety of things, so keep them engaged. So.
And I feel the same way, because I know with some of the other teachers, I knew that they wanted to be more engaging, but they were afraid to be more engaging because they didn't know how it was going to handle, especially online, where we can't, where our district doesn't allow us to put faces, like where they don't have to put their camera on. So I know they were kind of worried about that, or are they really going to work? Are they really going to do what they need to do? But I feel like once we introduced it, we did like a sample round with the other teachers. I think they felt more comfortable, and hearing back from them, I think they said it was a success as well.
Awesome, that's great. What were some issues that you faced when rolling out this PD to your departments or teachers?
I know one issue that we had was, I mean, how our district went from 0 to 100 in a span of like a week. A lot of our teachers were kind of just nervous in general with the technology aspect of everything. They're still nervous, creating a simple Google Doc. They're still nervous, even just assigning work in Google Classroom. So that's, a big problem that I saw coming as we wanted to implement more strategies for virtual learning, because I knew that we were trying to make virtual learning, as comparable to in-person learning. But, I feel once they started getting comfortable, we started moving more comfortable, everything is going to move more smooth.
I think also the idea of, we practice together, but the idea of doing it alone without the support there, some of the teachers got like, like in a panic mode, who's watching, I'm going to mess up, it's not going to work out. And how do I do this without, because you don't want to make the kids wait on you because you lose them. So I think that was the panic that they had, was that knowing whether or not somebody was going to be there to reassure them and how things were going to work when you actually do the real implementation of the strategy. Is it going to work out? What if it doesn't? What am I going to, they had all of that on their mind already. So it was kind of, they were scared. It was like they became first-year teachers with 20 years experience. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like everything just was totally new to them. So
For sure. I mean, yeah, because this year we definitely had to pivot and adapt. And so yeah, that was what I was hearing, was that technology, just jumping into like everything technology. Before it was like just maybe 10% or 20% of our teaching, and now it was like flipped. So how did we like specifically work to resolve these issues?
Well, I know what I did is I worked with my department, and we actually would spend, during whenever we had a chance, whether it was during conference or, those work days that we get occasionally, we would sit there together, and they would ask me questions, and we would work through, the different aspects of the strategies, the different aspects of, what we were working on. And we kind of broke it up into little pieces, and we said, okay, we're going to focus just on this for a little while. And then once we felt like we got that, okay, we added another step, and then we went on and added another step, and until eventually, all those steps all those little parts of the cookie made the whole.
Yeah, and I know that on our campus, we have experts in certain things. So if you look for those experts, they can help out. They can help you out. Our admin's really good about allowing those teachers to free up those teachers so that they can help the ones that need it. Because I mean, there's only a certain, there's not very many of us that are experts, so to say, in certain things, and that are available to help during whatever time of the day. So I think that was another thing that we were able to do, is free up people to help others. And then I know that at the beginning we were having those meetings in the mornings when we were talking, for we had that off time,
Mhm.
and people were sharing ideas. So that helped too. You know who you can turn to if you have questions. And it's real easy to just pop up on a Zoom meeting real quick to explain something to them if they need to. So I think that was, or a Google Meets, I think that helped also with resolving some of the issues that we were having.
Yeah, so just like finding strengths, like with
Yes.
like from the whole school. Yeah, using everybody.
Uh-huh.
Using it, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I did with my department as well. Like we became students in each other's classes, so we could like practice some of the new technology stuff. And yeah, that did help. Okay, so what would you say you learned from this experience?
Ugh.
Learned a lot.
Still learning.
What didn't we learn? We're still learning I'm still learning every single day. I mean, this the strategies, I mean, itself are very beneficial. We can help, but actually learning how to implement them, especially in a virtual environment, is really going to ultimately help us, in the long run. Like, we're going to be able to now not just implement it, hopefully in the fall, we'll come back with our, our actual student body in the class. And maybe now we can actually implement what we've learned virtually and how to implement these virtually, actually implement them, in person, but maybe have like a hybrid of, everybody. Now that our district has one-to-one devices, maybe we can implement these strategies that we learned online and implement them into the classroom as a hybrid model, but with the kids here on campus.
I think that it forced us to learn a lot of things that we would probably normally not have learned. And it made me realize how I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but how far behind we were to some of the things that are going on around us in other school districts. So it forced us to catch up to other districts. And now I think we can more or less compete with surrounding areas, because we're becoming knowledgeable with things that we probably would not have experienced if we hadn't gone through this.
Mm-hmm.
That's super true.
Yeah,
I agree. Like, I mean, like I said, how we went from 0 to 100, I feel like it doesn't just help us in the end. I know we're supposed to talking about our PDR growth, but in the ultimate end, I mean, it's helping the students,
right.
which are the ones who are going to eventually move on. It helps them prepare them for what's going to happen further in life. I mean, we didn't expect to have to do even this meeting right here in virtual, but now if, hopefully we never have to use this again, but at least it's there. And now the kids can understand hopefully how to, move on from this and realize that, technology is our friend, not our enemy.
Yeah.
More tools in our toolkit.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel you've grown as a leader?
Well, I think that as we're any opportunity that we have to learn something new helps you grow as a leader. Being able to work with people, having to work with people, even people who you feel are no more than you in like for me in a certain content. I may not be able to help them with that certain content, but I can help them with the technology part. So I think it helped us become closer to each other. I don't know if that makes sense, but the unity that you establish with your group helps you become a better leader, because you feel more comfortable. And it always says that, you walk with you shouldn't be in front of them. You should walking along with your campus. So I feel like it made me appreciate everybody's strengths and look for those people and bring out their leadership in that way. So I think that's how I'm seeing that it helped me in that way.
And I know with me, how it really helped me was I kind of felt like I was able to actually get close to those people that I've been working, on this campus for 5 years, and I've never really had a conversation with some of these teachers. And now, as we implemented these strategies, as we implemented, through PD and everything, I felt like I was actually able to communicate with them. And now, they know if they need help, I'm able to help them. And it also kind of gave me like the patience that I need